Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we solved quite a difficult puzzle, but I managed to figure it out mostly myself. I had some hints, but the hints were largely things I was figuring on trying anyway. But the hints basically confirmed that what I was trying was the correct things to try. So at the very least, thanks for those hints there, Orgaia. Anyway, we now have this key to get into a dungeon, and what followed was a conversation that was honestly so confusing I wasn't able to follow it. But now we got this guy here again, who is going to probably help us out, I think? And he's about to tell us about Hetrana, that goddess who we had to kill in order to knock her senses back into place and get into the volcano earlier in this adventure. So, go on. That fact alone brings it to light that this is no myth, as the Geiken are so convinced of. Yeah, some person that we were talking about and I don't remember the name. But we're about to find out. The Geiken. Stories of apocalypse and the end of the world are not without merit in every case. Here is no different. Kalpas upon Kalpas have ended and restarted in honor of not malice or pettiness, but simple ignorance of the facts that came before. You may have noticed that the world seems a bit off. It is quite a bit, actually. 4. Entities born out of a conglomerate of prismatic influence, dissuaded by the forces of the empty void that made up our known universe. They, like any divine being of lore, gave themselves identification and purpose. The 4 goddesses, the creation of our world. I thought there were 3. No, wait, there were 4. The 4th one was just kind of MIA or something. Kind of just sat idly by while the other goddesses did everything. But with anything of color and light, nature decrees there be an absence, a negation of itself. A neutral creature born without fear or evil in its heart, forced into isolation due purely because of its own existence, a fate given to those unlucky few. It knew no pain, as suffering is meaningless without the context of bliss. But, perhaps aware of its injustice, it was still a creature that desired liberty. And so through rage, it begot life. You may have surmised at this point that the life of the tortured creature began unnamed, but over time was given its nomination. Of course I speak of them, the Geiken. Traveling across a bridge of absence, the Geiken are bringers of destruction, death, and the unknown. Forever they are bound there, patient in their incentive. Apocalypse is the bringer of this world's destruction. Alone, our world would suffer a magnitude unlike anything that can be conceived by the mortal mind. Only through upsetting the natural causes of this world can it be called, manifested in a form many can recognize as their death. As, obviously, following destruction, nothing can survive. Possibly more subtle, but undoubtedly still ostensible, doom heralds the world's death. Through willing sacrifice, the form chosen will represent the decay of the soul, and the world will die. With no life, destruction is sure to follow. Separate, they will end the world. Together, they may offset each other, but inevitability is absolutely tied to their name. When brought to our world as a pair, their rage will meet and force the twins to engage in hostility that will outright uproot our very culture and society. That is, however, unless a single being that is capable of ending their eternal quarrel decides to interfere. The Coal Rod. With his legion of monstrosities cultivated from the Bridge of Absence itself, he may walk through both worlds seeking to end the atrocities the first two will commit. Of course, ignorance, as I said, always played a part in this exchange. Formless, the third Geiken can only appear once the Coal Rod and its two siblings are united within a single world. The trifecta acts as a gateway. We know it as Exodus, and we know the Coal Rod as Archon. That's the name we were asking about, Archon. Gotta say, that was a lot to take in. There's no way I'm gonna remember all that. Might have to take the time to re-watch that whole cutscene. None know exactly what the coming of Exodus entails, but it is theorized that the Coal Rod himself must enter the Bridge of Absence to begin the summoning. Yeah, and I can't help but notice that one of the people that was shown with the fire elementals and the other elementals in that one scene looked kinda like the villain of this adventure. The guy who was using the volcano as a cannon. It is also theorized that the other Geiken can only begin their ceremony to enter our world with the express permission of the Coal Rod. This is why, if you haven't guessed by now, I wish to find Archon and stop all of this from happening. Quite the mouthful. I figured it would be information worth having given that Hetrana saw it fit for you to know the term. This does sound a bit unreal. The entire concept is preposterous. The Grey God is a form without emotion. The Geiken could only have been formed with rage, and rage is an emotion. It's impossible. Our responsibility is to the study of the meaning behind the Grey God's imprisonment, and we alone must judge and feel rage on his behalf. Archon was a naive scholar who believed he could save the world by naming himself the Chosen One. You're the ones personifying the creature by giving it a name and gender. Once again, since you are all so adamant about this being a ghost story, why do you care whether or not I pursue it with an outsider? I mean, we'll find out how Intelio fits in when we go there, so what about Mira and Jack? I had heard about what happened in Hyola. Alknaroth was there, correct? He is part of Archon's Legion. So, Orgaya says two of those creatures were two bosses you've already faced earlier in the game. The Black Ghost from White Island and Alknaroth from Hyola Town. Alright. Anyway, if he was responsible for your friend's disappearance, then I'm afraid they might have been taken to the Bridge of Absence. Why? There are additional theories that... More theories. Do you see what I mean? That claim Exodus can be summoned without the need for the Coal Rod if he is unavailable. The Legion will need to be consumed. And before that, the Legion itself will need to consume enough of our world to be offered. So what does that mean for them? Normally, no mortal would be able to step within the bridge without it taking their lives, let alone be able to touch anything within. However, I am willing to believe they are placed within suspended animation until the time comes. And what makes you believe that? Gut feeling. But that does not mean our time is indefinite. If your friends were indeed taken to the bridge, Antelio will hold the answers on how to retrieve them. Meet me outside. If you work with him, then you may leave. You want me to leave anyway. Oh, it's these guys. Acolytes. What are you doing here? And where is your coward leader? We came here under his orders to form an alliance with the Geiken. This is a peaceful meeting. It isn't going to happen. Get out of my sight. Do not deny... I don't think you've heard me. Tell Fury they are not interested. Get out of my sight. Change of plans, Perrin. I will dispose of these fools while you go into Antelio. Fury will die by my hand. I am sick of his lunacy. Go on ahead. I'll meet up with you later. Well, I guess this guy knows what he's doing. Well then, off to Antelio, I guess. Okay then. That happened. Anything new to say? Nope. Curious why you have a chicken. So apparently, if I am understanding correctly, the Geiken are kind of responsible for why this world has been acting so strange. With the people of White Island being proud of their dust, and the man who wanted to eat money, lady who wanted to grow children like they were plants or something. And why rabbits act as save points. I wonder what Fury has to do with all of these. Is he related, or perhaps the secret identity of one of the beings mentioned? That is what I'm thinking. Oh, my compass went away. Come back, compass! And now that I'm here, not gonna need it anymore. This place is looking a little different. This was... Oh. Out of curiosity. No, the sign still says the same thing. So, let's talk to you. Well, hello there, lunchbox. Just the man I wanted to see. Not so much Mr. Man over there. What are you doing here? Well, I figured we could help each other out again. You get me through the door, I help you find your missing kittens. Why do you want in? Exploration? Adventure? You know, the typical stuff. So, we have a deal? Great. Okay, sure. So, Shadow Mistress has joined our team. She's a thieving fool. I like that. Doesn't have any magic. Kinda weird. I figure she'd be quite a magical person. Well, she does have a magical staff. That doesn't mean that I'm giving her the Kotori staff. That's mine. But I will give you this lovely hat. And a lesser combat amulet. And then... Oh, it's these things again. Lovely. Well, I know exactly how to deal with them. I had considered ending the stream just now, but I figure, yeah, I got another 8 minutes. Let's see what progress we can make in here. Maybe this dungeon won't be terribly big. Touch the crystal? Sure. That opened up a path somewhere, I'm betting. Am I being blind? Is that what's going on? What did that do for us? Okay, I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this dungeon in 8 minutes if I can't figure out what I just did. The sign ain't helpful. The cracks in the ground ain't helpful. Do I leave? That doesn't seem to... Oh. Sure. Why not? These guys can kind of do their thing and attack everything in sight. Maddie has started streaming, I see, so I will send you guys to raid his channel after I'm done with whatever I can do here. Alright, we need another key. So apparently the signs were actually referring to this dungeon. I thought if we were getting lost in that north-south, west-south, whatever maze. Well, this is a pretty casual romp. I am okay with having a casual romp. Oops, didn't want to do that. While these guys are going around massacring flowers, it gives me some time to think about what I'm going to be doing, or what, not what I'm doing, what shoot, what was I saying? Oh yeah, what the deal with the Geiken is, kind of let that sink in. Speaking of things I'm doing, by the way, I have decided that I'm going to start start posting this playthrough at YouTube, no joke, on April 1st. So if you want to keep an eye on that, I'll go ahead and throw a link to that. And hey, as long as I'm linking things, I'll also throw a link to this game for those interested and want to play. Those of you watching this at YouTube, I of course will link the game as well in the description. Anyway, a ball? Why in the world is this important? Why do you care? We got the door open for you. I was hoping there would be treasure. Maybe this is worth something. I wouldn't try and sell it if I were you. If I'm right, Perrin, you found a spring orb, an artifact requiring to pass into one of the 4 springs of Pleius. Drake told me about them. They only seem to appear to those whom the specific goddess wishes to speak with. This one seems to be for the Liquid Spring. Does that mean that Liquia herself wants to talk to us? Blah blah blah, whatever. Let's just get out of here, yeah? I was expecting us to find a key to that gate, but that does not appear to be the case. Anyway, I kind of do this thing now that I think works out with YouTube, where I post my more fast-paced playthroughs on weekdays, 1 episode a day. Basically like, well, doing the episode breaks thing. If I make good progress in each half hour, they can go up daily. Otherwise, for the more slow-paced playthroughs, like The Lost, I post those in bulk on weekends. That way, people don't have to wait for me to make so little progress every half hour. So far, that method of posting playthroughs seems to be working out. And I'm about out of half-hour playthroughs, so that is why this is going to be going up starting in April. Anyway, we have found ourselves in a very important thing, this Liquid Orb. I guess this means next we'll be heading to the Liquid Spring. Allow me to step back in here real quick to heal the entire team. Although I could have done that in the menu too, I know. And I'm going to save and kind of bring things to a close. And I will also send a raid over to Maddie, because I try to do that whenever I can remember. I usually remember. Wait, there's a vine next to the chest I was at? Shoot. Well, I'm out of time, so let me make note of that. There was a vine next to the chest at the end of the dungeon I just exited. I guess I'll go ahead and... Oh. It apparently was a shortcut out of here. Alright. You know, as long as we're on the subject, the exit vines don't stand out very much, because there's other vines on the wall, so I think vine is vine. So, there's a little bit of critique for you. Anyway, I'll go ahead and do this raid thing. Raid Matty Ratty. And I'm gonna say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.